Petrol prices have been going through the roof and only a handful of car makers make small cars with diesel engines. Electrics, well, they are here but they're not here because the infrastructure to operate them does not yet exist. So in today's day and age, if you want to limit your running costs, your only option is CNG. But the problem here is that only Maruti and Hyundai make CNG cars, and that too very limited models. But now, Tata's entered the game. Hi, my name is Dhruv Paliwal, you're watching AutoX, and today we are driving the Tiago iCNG to find out if it can hold a candle to its rivals and give Maruti and Hyundai a reason to worry.
You're watching the AutoX YouTube channel. You can also get your daily dose of all things automotive on our website, autox.com, and follow us on social media. Don't forget to check out our monthly magazine and make sure to hit the bell and subscribe button so you don't miss a thing.
Now, the Tiago was always a handsome car, and when Tata gave it a facelift last year, we were really impressed. However, for 2022, Tata has made some more changes. For example, you get this chrome strip here underneath the grille, you get projector headlamps, LED DRLs, on the side you get chrome on the door handles, and there's chrome on the boot lid as well. So all of it makes the car look a little bit more special. However, there's one thing here. This is the top-spec XZ Plus variant with the CNG kit in the back. So if you buy this, you get these 14-inch steel wheels here. These are actually steel wheels with stylized wheel caps on top of them, and honestly they look the part. It's a win-win situation. The cost stay down, the car looks good. However, if you do go for the petrol XZ Plus variant, you'll get 15-inch alloy wheels instead of these 14-inch steel rims. Now let's step inside here and start with the driver's seat. Starting first with the steering wheel, it's a nice steering. You've got a textured finish on it. There's a flat bottom, looks a little sporty. You've got buttons here to use the touch screen, and they fall to hand quite easily. However, the driver's footwell, that's not that good a place. It's a little cramped and you do feel a little hemmed in while trying to drive. It's not a deal breaker, but if you really enjoy driving a car, then you might not like this setup. Then moving on to the touchscreen. Now it's a really great boon that a CNG car has a touchscreen, and honestly the system, the Harman system here by Tata, it works flawlessly. The screen, it's a little small, but you get your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Obviously it's not wireless, you need to put in the wire, but the system, it works flawlessly. The screen, it's slick to use, it's not hanged even once since the morning we've been driving the car. So it just feels overall a very good system to use. Then you've got auto AC. Obviously that's a boon always. Hot climate, cold climate, whatever, just hit that auto button and your temperature and everything will be set just right. As far as storage spaces inside the car are concerned, you get a lot of space here inside the center console. Here also you get two cup holders, and if you want to keep a water bottle, you do have bottle holders in the doors, but they're not that big that they can, take in a 1 liter bottle. So what you have to do is, you have to keep it here in the center, and you do have space here for one 1 liter water bottle. As far as the cabin overall is concerned, you get a dual tone cabin here, black on the top, beige on the bottom, and gives a nice contrast to all of it. Okay, it's not a very big car, and this color scheme, it helps make it feel a little more roomier than it actually is. Let's head to the back seat now. Okay, getting into the back seat, not a big problem. The car's feels a little high, but that's okay. Okay, now the front driver's seat, it's set to my position. I'm around 5'7", and as you can see, I have enough space here around me. My feet, they're nicely tucked underneath the front seat. I have got a lot of knee room. The under thigh support is great. I don't feel a lack of it. Although the seat base could have been a little longer to probably come up till here, but that's not that big a deal. The seat overall is comfortable, you can sit nicely into it, but after I've sat here, I can see that there's not a lot of space left over. So you can seat one more passenger here, probably a small child. That is it, not more than that. As far as the headrests are concerned, they're not adjustable, so you have to make do with what you get. And as far as conveniences go, the only thing you have here is power windows. There's no charging ports for the rear passengers, there's no AC vents for the rear passengers, and there is no armrest as well. So yeah, that's that. Why don't we go drive the car now? Okay, quickly, one more thing before we drive. I just want to show you the boot space here, and there isn't any. There's the CNG tank here and not a lot of space here. I've got one laptop inside this bag. If I try to fit it in, it's probably not going to work. So the boot is pretty much only going to be useful for small shopping bags and things like that. Okay, so when Tata were launching the Tiago, they were very confident of one thing, and that this would be a good CNG car to drive. It would pretty much be like a petrol car to drive. So let's start by testing that. Switch on the car. Quick start. Fun fact over here, the Tiago actually has a system in it in which it can start on CNG. Now in regular cars, you have to start on petrol and then it switches over to CNG. Here, that's not the case. You can directly start on CNG. And it doesn't take like an extra crank or something, it just starts up instantly. Okay, now let's get going. You actually don't need to use the throttle to get rolling. You can just use the clutch to start moving. And that's a good thing. I mean, in bumper to bumper traffic, you really don't have to pay a lot of attention to keeping the car moving forward. So that's going to be an added plus when it comes to ease of driving. As far as the power delivery and everything goes, I think the CNG has been tuned really well. It works well lower down, it picks up smoothly, the revs start to build properly, they're linear. It's not an out and out power experience here, but yeah, you do not feel that you're lacking anything. It just feels smooth, and even if you shift at like 2000 RPMs and like go into the next gear, you don't feel like you shifted too early, you don't feel like there's a lack of power, the car keeps moving forward pretty smoothly, and building speeds up to 60 and 80, which is what you'll require most of the times in the city limits, not more than that. That's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to get up to those speeds. And even 100 if you're out on the highway. We've driven the car on the highway in the morning and it felt like it could get up to 100 pretty quickly. Okay, so talking about the driver controls, the steering here, I mean, it's light to use, it weighs up progressively. There's not a lot of feel or feedback going on here, but you really don't expect that from cars like this, and you have no complaints here. Even the transmission here, the gearbox, it's nice to use, the throws are short, the gates are well defined. It's a slick unit, but it's not the slickest unit out there. I mean, there are other cars which have better manual transmissions, but you won't be complaining about going through the gears in this car. The clutch 2 is light, it's easy to use, you can use it all day long, city traffic, bumper to bumper traffic, highway, whatever be the condition, you will not mind using the clutch. And that's a very big thing, especially in today's crowded metro cities. Overall, the Tiago comes across as a very easy to drive car. Okay, now let's come to the ride quality of the Tiago. The overall ride quality is quite mature. Going over the smaller stuff at slower speeds, the Tiago pretty much flattens everything. You don't feel a lot of it coming inside the cabin, be it the jolts or the noise. Once you do start going a little faster and you do start taking these bumps at speed, you will feel that a bit of the noise, a bit of the harshness, it does come inside the cabin. But even then, you don't feel like you're uncomfortable inside. Your passengers will not be complaining. That's a big plus for the car. And this kind of ride quality also means that it stays quite calm and composed on the highways. Okay, now there's not a lot that I can fault here inside this cabin, but there is one thing that irks me, and that is this. Right now I'm in CNG mode, I went over to petrol mode. Now the screen in front of me, it's telling me my average fuel efficiency and the range I have left. But when I go over to CNG, that information disappears. Basically, the car can only tell me the range and the average fuel efficiency when I'm running on petrol. It can't do that for CNG. Now, no one's going to be asking Tata, why didn't you give this feature? But if you are giving it to me for petrol, and if you had given it for CNG as well, it would have been a big plus. Okay, so at the start of this video, we asked a question. Will the Tiago CNG, cause problems for Maruti and Hyundai? And the answer to that question is yes. First of all, because you're getting so many options here. You can pick whatever variant you want, what features you want, and ultimately that makes it easier to fit it into your budget. Second of all, the driving experience. The driving experience, I have to say, is like a petrol car. I mean, obviously you do feel that slightly less amount of power, but it is in no way taking away from the driving experience. It is smooth, there's no power lag, there's no flat spot in power delivery. and you just feel like you're driving a normal petrol car on your normal city roads. Now, is that all? No. That is Mr. Trick here. And the trick is not offering an automatic transmission. You know, in today's day and age, when cities are getting more and more crowded, automatics have become the need of the hour. And if Tata had offered an automatic here, I can pretty surely say that a lot more people would be buying up to buy the Tiago iCNG. That was all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Was there something that you wanted to know but we missed out on in this video? Why don't you reach out to us in the comments below and we'll get back and answer your query. Also, if you like the video, do like it, do share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and until the next time, goodbye.